Tzu Chi Philippine chapter hosts rice distribution with epidemic prevention measures. Tzu Chi Banqiao grants completes the mission of making fabric masks for the needy. Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Today, Philippine chapter is hosting rice distributions in Tacloban and San Jose district. As the COVID-19 epidemic is still a concern, prevention measures include masks and social distancing. The distributions are held outside.
This queue is seemingly endless due to the social distance of 2 meters between two people. At this distribution, the volunteers wear a sign on their forehead to make sure they communicate their point across, as the mask covering their mouth makes talking more difficult. Tzu Chi is hosting a rice distribution to help these families put food on the table.
I know these days we are all afraid of leaving the house, but I chose to come here to help today because if we don't help one another, who will? Then those who need our assistance or those who are hungry, who can help them?
Each distribution has scheduled 21 households per session. And though it will extend the distribution time, everyone is patient and understanding. Tzu Chi's actions have also inspired this recipient to pay the love forward.
I've
received rice from Tzu Chi as part of the distribution, and I also plan to share this rice with those around me that didn't receive it. I want to help them, and I hope in the future when they receive blessings in life that they too will turn it around and help someone else who needs it.
We should do it with utmost respect and love. Also, we should also be thankful every time, so that when we go to the community, hopefully we can inspire also the community to be respectful, to love and care, so that this society will be harmonious.
Each bag of rice is 25 kilograms, and those with more mouths to feed will get 2 bags. Tzu Chi Philippines chapter will distribute 2,000 bags of rice in Tacloban's San Jose district.
Paraguay is under a lockdown now, and city volunteers have learned that many soup kitchens have run out of food. The volunteers immediately distributed food ingredients to these soup kitchens, ensuring they can continue to provide food for impoverished residents. Meanwhile, in a slum area at the border of Brazil, people are also running out of food. Therefore, volunteers brought food to a charity organization there.
Que Dios le bendiga a ustedes por su proyecto de trabajo que están haciendo acá. Uno también le hacen llegar, no solamente a nosotros, somos privilegiados. Le agradecemos a todas las personas.
After several days, they finally used the stove again. Impoverished families are waiting for fried dough, hot milk, and fried dumplings. Since the soup kitchens in the church and slum area are unable to receive donations of food ingredients during this time, they've stopped providing food for a long time.
I'm very happy. Tzu Chi's help is very important to us. I really appreciate it. Do you know we've been waiting for outside help? Fortunately, God has helped us through your hands. We have finally received the help we need. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for donating food ingredients to us. We will continue to do the work and help very poor family. Thank you again for your donation.
This food came just in time. I really appreciate Tzu Chi volunteers. On behalf of the community, I want to thank you.
Fodo Igaku is located in a large slum area. Tour guide Xie Jiahong has invited his colleagues to use 3 cars to give 500 food baskets to a charity organization, AFA.
Many residents here make a living by helping customers bring supplies over the bridge and scavenging. During the epidemic time, they cannot work and don't have food. Today, Tzu Chi, it is called Tzu Chi, right? Tzu Chi has brought supplies and helped us a lot.
To ensure that the care recipients won't go hungry during the lockdown, city volunteers deliver food baskets and rent subsidies to them. They've also brought milk powder and medication for cancer patients. In the critical time, these volunteers have once again brought love and care to the people in need. Malaysia is implementing a movement restriction order, hoping to reduce the spread of COVID-19, but also affects the livelihoods of refugees. Therefore, Tzu Chi worked with UNHCR to provide work relief to refugees.
Today we will distribute to 33 families, just as few people.
Some medical staff from the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur Free Clinic Center take part in the distribution after work.
When we go to deliver the cash, everyone must look out for their safety. The UNHCR asked us if we could help. They know Tzu Chi volunteers are all over Malaysia, so they chose areas with a lot of refugees. The places are Penang, Kedah, Selangor, and Johor. Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang are doing this, and Tzu Chi volunteers in southern Malaysia are also doing this.
Non-medicals take part in this distribution to give cash to 33 refugee families who are being affected by COVID-19.
In the group are dentists, pharmacists, nurses, and doctors, so we hope this can inspire more people, especially the medicals, to come forward to take part in this event, because the medical staff know the basic knowledge on protection.
The volunteers have to maintain a safe distance with the refugees, but their sincerity remains the same.
I just know that my auntie cannot work these days. Yeah.
Do you worry about it?
Yeah.
Worry about what?
About if they cannot pay the rent of the home. Yeah. So if we don't get the food, and thanks from Tzu Chi to help us.
这家人是我电访的，所以我很了解他们的。
I feel interviewed this family, so I understand their suffering, and I'm glad to come and help them. I hope our little help can allow them live more happily during this period.
The UNHCR works with Tzu Chi, and they plan to deliver cash to 1,500 to 2,000 refugee families in the hope to solve their daily problems.
In Mentogo, Beijing, many communities are still under closed-off management. City volunteers have delivered care packages to epidemic prevention personnel. In one community, some children from care recipients' families expressed their gratitude to the epidemic prevention personnel. At the Nanxingfang community entrance, the 24-hour entrance control has been ongoing for more than 80 days.
About 300 to 400 cars pass by on Mondays through Fridays. On Saturdays and Sundays, there's about 700 to 800 cars.
City volunteers have cared for 3 children in the community for more than 4 years. They've come to express their gratitude.
They got the post for 24 hours a day. There were lighting a few days ago, but they were not afraid. I am very happy to be able to deliver the gifts to them.
The care packages come with volunteers' best wishes.
We thought that if it is inconvenient to cook, you can consume 5-grain powder.
Volunteers also delivered care packages to Qingbaikou community, which is still under closed-off management.
When you encounter problems at home or at work, these words from a philanthropist can be very useful. They're called Jingsa aphorisms.
City volunteers have also prepared daily supplies for Yanchi Township Welfare Center, where the population is mostly seniors. Ling Hanyi, who has been a nurse for 30 years, teaches everyone to do some exercises.
In a short period of time, it can help get rid of fatigue from work. For instance, through the movements of the hands and head, he can feel better with the simple moves. As the epidemic continues to spread globally, people's physical and mental health still need to be cared for.
Jakarta, Indonesia is now under a social restriction order for epidemic prevention. Schools at all levels are suspended. Indonesia's Tzu Chi moral education class encouraged students to draw pictures at home for frontline medical personnel, hoping to spread positive energy.
Each colorful painting is drawn by Indonesian Tzu Chi moral class students for frontline medical personnel.
I hope that during school suspension for epidemic prevention, while staying at home, the children can draw pictures, which is the easiest way to cheer up medical personnel.
Staying at home for epidemic prevention, although school is suspended, learning still continues. Every painting is positive energy.
I will stay at home and won't add to the burden of medical personnel. I also want to thank them for their contributions during the COVID-19 epidemic.
I hope that doctors and nurses continue to work hard, allowing more patients to recover soon. Everyone hang on.
More than 60 pictures were drawn by children aged 6 to 16. Without prior notice of the scholarship, each child has received $2, which was all donated to Tzu Chi Indonesian chapter as a fund to purchase anti-epidemic supplies.
The handicraft workshop at Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds started making fabric masks on February 10th. Up until April 14th, volunteers have made close to 40,000 masks. They've given the masks to recycling volunteers, Tzu Chi hospital medical staff, and Tzu Chi volunteers. This day is their final day of mask making, and volunteers express gratitude to each other.
Thinking back to February 10th when they started making cloth masks, these volunteers feel a deep sense of gratitude.
The sewing experts are all in Banqiao.
They all came voluntarily. Some people came on their own. If I had asked more through the internet, this place would become too crowded.
For 65 days, volunteers came 2,145 times and produced 39,550 items, including regular masks, three-dimensional mask covers. This workshop is where these volunteers can rest their mind.
I believe sewing these masks gave us great power and peace. If I hadn't come for 2 months, I wouldn't have known where to go.
This was a very good opportunity because we had just closed our business and we could come here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have anything to do at home.
Observing their surroundings, these volunteers have become more professional.
When I leave home every morning, I always walk by a pharmacy and see a line of people, and it always breaks my heart.
I'm very touched because everyone was very diligent in making masks. It allowed me to realize what Master Zhen Yan once said, a tiny screw has its function.
People who did not sew masks pass on their best wishes with cloth masks.
To tell you the truth, I've also bought many masks here, so I gave the mask to people, and people said they liked these masks because they were beautiful. I told them that they could wash them and reuse them, and they didn't need to use those regular masks and throw them away every day.
This mission is now over. After the last batch has been sent out, volunteers started cleaning the place and maintaining machines. They also pray for everyone around the world that they can return to their normal lives as quickly as possible.
In Taiwan, kitchen volunteers at Hualien Recycling Education Station held a vegetarian food cooking lesson. They taught 2 dishes and explained the steps, ensuring that people unfamiliar with cooking vegetarian food can also understand it. The kitchen volunteer first fried ginger, then adds king oyster mushroom, lion's mane mushroom, basil, and other spices. After stirring it for a while, she served sunbaked king oyster mushroom.
She has fried the king oyster mushroom first. I braised king oyster mushroom before, but I have never fried them. Coming here, I've learned a lot.
Then the kitchen volunteers also demonstrate ways to braise bean curds. They demonstrate their cooking skills and teach people who are not familiar with cooking vegetarian food.
After learning the skills, they will go home and make the food. Then they will change their eating habits. This way, we can achieve the goal of saving animal lives and protecting the environment together.
After tasting the delicious vegetarian food, members of the public praised the kitchen volunteers. They have also changed their mind about vegetarian food.
In the past, I thought that vegetarian food was not tasty. However, now I've realized that vegetarian food can be very delicious. I will learn about vegetarian food slowly and get rid of my meat-eating habit. I enjoyed today's class.
By adopting a vegetarian diet, these people are not only enjoying delicious food, but also protecting lives and the environment. April 22nd is Earth Day, with the company starting a weekly vegetarian day. They ask Tzu Chi to provide vegetarian meals every Wednesday.
Demonstrating excellent cutting skills, these volunteers are preparing the ingredients. These vegetables may look ugly, but they are nutritious. Tzu Chi Jewelry office is busy this morning because the volunteers are preparing vegetarian meals for a company.
Because of the epidemic, we hope the Quanzhou Construction Company can provide vegetarian meals every day for its employees, not just once a week.
This dish requires much work. They apply powder to the bean curd sheets and fry them. Volunteers must make lunches for 100 people in 2 hours, so timing is very important.
We're making seaweed and peanuts today. We have done some work on the peanuts yesterday because the peanuts were raw and we had to soak them in water and boil them.
To be environmentally friendly, the construction company staff prepare their own tableware to reduce garbage, and they arrive at noon on time. These delicious dishes change the perceptions of these employees.
Today's vegetarian eel tastes not much different from the real eel, and it's good for the environment.
The sisters were very mindful because the meals were balanced and the whole thing looks very nutritious.
The construction company involves its factories in China, Vietnam, and Cambodia to eat vegetarian food for 3 days.
这几天配合公司祈福活动，吃素，让我觉得心情比较平静一点。
3天吃素下来，我觉得蛮新鲜的，因为之前没有吃过素食。
Overseas companies also joined us from April 15th to 17th last week for 3 days. And starting this week, we'll eat vegetarian meals on Wednesdays. And together here in Taiwan and those overseas branches will pray for the earth.
When the world is facing the global warming and also the epidemic, we can start by eating vegetarian meals because it can protect the environment and also improve our immune system.
Kending in southern Taiwan is known for its beauty. However, the coastline now contains lots of garbage from the local bed and breakfast industry. Different areas under the jurisdiction of different authorities, making it difficult to punish those who dump garbage. Now, public consciousness is necessary to maintain the beauty of this area.
It should be a beautiful coastline, but when the camera zooms in, we can see that trash is everywhere.
We came here and discovered there are toothbrushes and a pile of garbage, which came from renting a suite. It's all here.
There may even be some beds and sofas here in Kending Longkan Ecological Reserve, highlighting the problem of the B&B industry.
I never thought that these types of things could appear in a national park. It's a bit too much.
This large furniture does not only be found on the beach, but also hidden in the windbreak.
这个是马桶的水箱啊。
哦，马桶水现在拿出来丢，对不对？
那个是马桶啊。
哦。
然后这是鱼缸啊。
哦，这鱼缸。
啊，那个是建筑废弃物啊。
哦，真的。
Even the store name is on this stuff. That should make it easy for us to see who dumped it. But if the competent government authority doesn't do this, whistleblowers will have no confidence. This gives others the confidence to just dump garbage.
Here are cement bricks, mattresses, cabinets, and many other things. Accounting for an area of 18,000 hectares, the Kenting National Park has 20 large garbage bins. And 3 times a week, a garbage truck will be sent by the park's management office to scenic spots for waste collection.
For difficult-to-reach places, it is probably impossible to have someone patrol to pick up trash every day. For instance, for the beach, we usually have inspection and waste clearance through hosting major beach cleanup activities from time to time.
However, in Kenting's Main Street, which is not far away, the garbage collection unit responsible becomes the Hengchuan Township office. On this relatively small Hengchuan peninsula, simple tasks such as handling garbage are the jurisdiction of several different units.
Relevant county government authorities include Water Resources Agency, Marine and Fishery Management Office, Kenting National Park, Forestry Bureau, or the 7th River Management Office. So only after a site survey to clarify power and responsibility we do such a cleanup.
The amount of litter is difficult to estimate. From the official figures based upon local residents plus tourists, Hengchuan's amount of garbage cleared every month is about 1,000 tons. The amount of garbage in Kenting National Park is also 25 tons per month. There's not only a lot of garbage, but the amount of recycled materials is also increasing. Local recycling is made up of glass bottles, PET bottles, and waste paper. In addition to the recycled materials, the most troublesome trash here is the large furniture from the bed and breakfast industry. The town office enlists a furniture recycling factory to allow this waste to be used again.
Now much of it is burned at a Kenting incinerator, which each year incurs $332,000 incineration costs per year. If we recycle this waste, at least we can reduce the amount of garbage. This also increases our employment and our income.
As for Tzu Chi recycling volunteers, they make up for what the township office cannot recycle every day. Some go to the government areas to collect recyclables, and there are more than 30 recycling points stretching as far away as Erlanbi.
The tricky thing is to collect recyclables from convenience stores because their storage space is small, as less than 3 square meters. So we have to go there almost every day.
In addition to relevant authorities, the general public and NGOs are doing the important work of recycling. However, the most important contribution can be made by the people, who must be aware of the dangers of simply ignoring Mother Nature.
In the United States, Los Angeles County government and a hospital are setting up checkup stations. Tzu Chi has donated masks, gloves, and disinfectant to them. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.